Hey, it's Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and it is Monday. It's October 23rd. This will be our chart lesson for the day. And we had some pretty good movement today. There's still not a lot of trades here, but these were all relatively easy trades. Um, Especially once you add this trend line, you definitely want to take these two off that trend line. Um, but yeah, it wasn't a real difficult day, but and we did get some pretty good movement, but most of the real heavy movement came late in the afternoon, and there really wasn't a good entry after that point to get in. If you'd got in on most of these, definitely this one, but maybe this one you probably would have had a runner depending on how you entered. But and you could have ridden that all evening, but you had to be patient. That's for sure. Early on, it didn't look like there was going to be anything, but we did end up breaking out of there and trending down pretty strongly. So will we rally back again to tomorrow like we have been? It's hard to say. You can see in the overnight, not much has happened. It's been really quiet. So we'll see. But let's talk about the trades. It won't take long today. There's not many of them. So um, when I came in, we were just working up and down. And this is somebody sent me um, a question and asked about entering here, talking about they were expecting a retest of the high. But when you get a range like this, and this was pretty clearly a range, you got your overnight high here, your overnight low here, and when this triggers, you've already tested that 1, 2. Uh, that's a double test. If anything, you want to be looking for a short here. You just don't really have a good enough signal bar right there. That's a neutral bar, so you can't go short there. So see if it comes back one more time, but I don't recommend trying to get long here right into those highs. Just not a good idea. Um, if you got room to get out, you may risk that one, but and that's not. I mean, that's a fairly bullish bar. It's not. I mean, one tick lower and it's a doji. So, and that's a one tick. I mean, that's a one bar trading range if it's a doji. So that's not a very good signal bar. Even if it closed one tick higher, maybe. Um, so I just don't like that one. I'm looking. When we make another high here, quick double test of that eye, then I'm gonna be looking for a short. And when we come back and test it again and give this nice bearish bar, I like going short right there. And that's the trade of the day. If you catch that trade, you could ride this all the way down. Although I'm probably going to exit somewhere across here when it gets flat looking like this. I originally had this down here. When we started closing a little higher across here, I moved it up. And then later on, you probably could have moved it back down here. It didn't really matter at that point. But this is where I was playing it. And it's looking like a break lower, and then you get this double test here. We'll talk about that in a minute. Um, we do come down. I don't know why that bar is there. I never marked that trade up. Maybe, I don't know how I got that there. Not sure why it's there. But anyway, I'm going to remove it. So, but anyway, we're working down, two legs down, and then it looks like we're headed higher. There's not really a good long setup here. I would have been mostly looking for longs here. That's a fairly bullish bar. But I'd want to get a failed second entry short there. I'm either want to enter way down here, or I'm going to need the failed second entry short. And it looks like we're going to get that here, and it just turns lower and never goes higher. But notice that you come back here, and then you get a 1, 2, a double test. And so I like short right there, other than the fact that it's a doji. So again, you don't have a very good setup bar. So I don't like going short there at all. It's right into the lows. You're really just working sideways here. That's a one bar trading range. But notice what happens. It pushes on down, makes a lower low, then a first entry short and a second entry short here. It actually went higher in turns. It goes out the other direction. Um, I kind of like having your stop right there and just going on short. This is a breakout pullback short, second entry short. Uh, we're starting to make lower highs and lower lows. High, low, and double top is just the same thing as a lower low, then another low or lower high, and then a lower low, another test of that. And again, normally I'd think you might go long there, I mean short there, but just not a very good signal bar. And it comes back, like I said, it gives another test of that level, and I like going short right there. You could still go short right here, although you're going short right into those lows. But by this time, you're making lower lows and lower highs. So you're trending lower. So it looks like we've broken out of this range here and headed lower. But I'd still be leery about going short right there. That's a fairly big bar. You're going short right in the lows. I think you want to go short here or let it break lower and drop a limit order and see if you'll get a little better entry. But you probably trap some people here trying to get long, because notice that this is a higher low right here, and it's only a couple of ticks, but we're making those lower highs and lower lows down through there, and you're really just kind of going sideways there. So I don't think you want to go long there either, because this is really looking like it. There's a possibility we could break lower. You don't know that at that point, but you have to be aware of it. There's also, I don't have it on there, but you probably also would have wanted to have that on there. And it's a shorter term, but you can see it doesn't really fit real well anywhere on this other side, and it's really just more of a sideways action. So, and you can see the resistance we're getting across there. And then this is just more sideways action right across here. So it's almost like a little range right across there as well. I didn't draw this on there, but we'll put it on there. And you can see that. And even then you get the little break lower and then the second entry short and all. And that's another reason why I don't really like going long right there, because you're going long right into those highs. So really is what it just to go back and explain this a little more, you got this larger range, and it's like we just went into a tighter range there. So hopefully that's clear. But you finally get the little breakout here, and you get a first entry, or you get the breakout here, and then you get the short, and then you make a new low, and then you come back right here. I was ready to go. That's right off that trend line, second entry short, but it never triggers until here. So, and then you can treat it. Notice that was the previous lows. It's like a double test of that second entry short, but it ends up kind of giving you a little failed breakout too. So I like that one to the downside. This one takes off. It does come back here, and the only reason I like this one, this is just a first entry, but the reason I like this one, it's only 3 ticks, and everything is still below the trend line, still below the EMA, and there's a good chance that maybe we'll get another leg like this one. And if this looks like a breakout here, or a break of the trend line here as well. So generally you're going to get 2 legs down. So I was looking for it just to come back down to here again. And notice it came to that point to the tick, and then it tries to bounce before it goes lower. So, but just because that one's only 3 ticks, real low risk entry, and it's off the trend line, it's underneath the EMA. And notice there's really kind of 2 legs down there, so you could treat that. I mean, technically that's a failed second entry long, but you'd have to go to a little smaller chart to find that, because you don't break higher here on this chart. But if you went to a smaller chart, you would see that break higher. That would be 2 legs down. So pull back first entry, pull back second entry, And so there's a lot of reasons why I like that one. It's not perfect setup. I mean, you could argue for that to be green almost, but I like it, so I'm still going to leave it red. Okay, I had a little interruption there, but yes, and that pretty much closed it out. We never did get back to the trend line. This thing really got weak after that, but this is after 2 o'clock, and I don't see anything there that I'd want to trade at that point. So yeah, not a bad day. Again, there's not a lot of trades. We're just trying to see if there was anything else. If it's been a little bit more bullish, the only problem with this one here is that you really don't have a convincing close outside of that trend line. And at that point, the lows were kind of down here, although we had bounced there a few times. And so you do see that there's 2 legs down there. And so that would have been a second entry long off these lows. But that's just not a good enough bar, and you're still below that trend line. So it seemed like somebody had asked me about that one, so I thought I'd talk about that one. But I just don't think you want to go long there. I think you want to wait on the higher low, which comes here. And this one is really tempting. But when you start trying to get enter long or short in the in the middle of a range like that, especially the fact that we hadn't quite made this low here yet, there's a good chance that, since that's the first close outside, we may head lower. And so there is a second entry short there, but you don't really have enough room to get out. It's not a very good signal bar and so forth. So I don't think you can take that. But anyway, that's pretty much going to do it for today. There's not much else here to talk about. Even though we got some movement, most of it didn't come until after 2 o'clock, and there just really wasn't a good entry after that either. What I probably would have done, if this wasn't after 2 o'clock, I probably would have looked for another trend line here like so. And you can see this one. Fits in there pretty good. But yeah, that fits really nicely. You can see it's bouncing off the lows and turning down off the trend line. So what we did was it just got weaker and it went really steep right there. And but again, you had all you needed right here off this original trend line. And by the time you would have gotten anything else here off this other trend line, it's too late. So it's after 2 o'clock. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. We'll be back again to do it tomorrow. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.